How's it going, everyone? Simon here from CD Revival, and today's a new update video for the month of, I guess, March. So January, I think, was the last one I did. Was quite busy, quite a big one in January. This one is obscenely large, so I have got a lot of new CDs to go through. Think I might have a little bit of a problem. Yeah, severely running out of room. I have to buy more racking. So yeah. Just a problem that I have. But yeah, so I'll go through. I've got some good new releases, some stuff that I've been after for ages, some just kind of nonsense that I picked up from charity shops. So a good mixture of all kinds of stuff today, and I hope you enjoy it. And yeah, let me know what you think. First off, we're going to go for this one, which is the Mandrake Project, which is the new album from Bruce Dickinson. This came out on the 1st of March, I believe. And this is the 7-inch kind of, it comes with a book, comic kind of thing, package. So yeah, that comes with that. So it's like the deluxe edition. The CD is packaged in the front bit, and you literally struggle to get it out without damaging the packaging. And it's got like a large book in the back as well as the first sort of introductory Mandrake Project comic bit. A good album. Some people, a lot of people actually, a lot of the reviews are saying that it's his best solo album. Not sure if I agree with that completely. I think it's a really good album, but I've got a massive soft spot for Chemical Wedding and also for Accident of Birth. I think they're both excellent albums. I'm not sure whether this one tops either of those, but still very, very good, worth your time, worth checking out. Next one, which came out last Friday, this is Invincible Shield by Judas Priest, which is like, I think their 18th album or something, certainly their 50th anniversary this year. This is once again the deluxe edition, so it's the book version. Another really solid album. Yeah, like it a lot. Really, really good stuff, and they still definitely can put a decent album together. Rob sounds great, band sounds pretty decent. So all in all, a strong album all the way through. Not amazing. A lot of people are once again really, shouting about it like it's the second coming of Christ. But yeah, a really good album, strong all the way through, and very enjoyable. Can't argue with its quality. So yeah, definitely check that out. I'll say I've only had it a week, so I've listened to it sort of, a handful of times. But yeah, there's some good strong tracks on here. My favourite's probably Crown of Horns is probably my favourite on here. Gates of Hell's decent as well. Panic Attack obviously opens it up. But yeah, all good stuff really. There's not really a weak track on there. I wouldn't necessarily say there's like, any mega tracks, sort of like Sentinel style quality, but still really, really good. Check it out. Anyway, we can't spend too much time, otherwise we'll be here till next Tuesday, literally. This is one of my Holy Grail albums. I've been after this for such a long time. This is Voodoo Highway by Badlands. Jakey Lee, Ray Gillen, Eric Singer. This is their second album. I've got the first album. The first album is one of my favourite albums of all time. Absolutely superb. This one, the second album, I've only listened to it a couple of times before I actually managed to pick it up this week for a reasonable price, because it does go for silly prices a lot of the time. But yeah, a few spins on this one that I've given it in the last couple of days. Very, very good album. It's never going to be for me as good as the first album, because it's near perfection, the first album. But this one, yeah, definitely worth a spin. Really, really happy to get it. As I say, it's an album that I've been looking for a long time. And yeah, really, really happy to have it in my collection now. I've got all 3 Badlands albums, so can die a happier man for that. But yeah, Voodoo Lounge, if you get a chance, if you see it below £20, it's a bargain, so grab it. Right, next we have a bit of a change. De La Soul is Dead, second album from them. Used to have this on cassette, I think, back in the day. They were for a while out of print and you couldn't even stream them as well. Also this one you can't stream, is none of their albums. I think the third one, Dusk, is maybe available on streaming, but first two albums so out of print, and yeah, can't stream them at all. Going back to this one, you couldn't stream this for the longest time. Now you can, but anyway, got the CD, second album from them. Good stuff. I've been going through a bit of a Genesis phase recently, so I've been picking up a lot of the Peter Gabriel stuff, especially. Foxtrot's one of their best albums in my opinion. Been listening to this quite a lot recently. Obviously it's got Suppers Ready on it, Watcher of the Skies. Yeah, loads of good stuff on here really. All the tracks are very, very good. But Suppers Ready, the 23-minute epic's probably one of their best tracks. But yeah, superb album. Next up we have this one, Hyperspace by Beck. This is his most recent album. As you can see by the sort of 80s cover, it's got that sort of synth vibe as well. So yeah, it's quite 80s-ish, but I wouldn't say it's super 80s. I am a big fan of Beck. I do like a lot of his stuff, most of his stuff in fact, and this one's no exception. Really good. Next one, a classic album, Court of the Crimson King by King Crimson. Heard it loads of times, didn't have the CD up until now. Obviously now I have got it. Iconic cover, one of the first ever prog albums probably. Very, very good stuff. If you like prog, if you don't, maybe not. This is another one which I picked up, which I used to have years ago. I used to have this on vinyl. This is Gumbo Millennium by 24/7 Spies. This one came out, I guess, early 90s, I think. When the whole sort of funk metal thing was very much a thing. Yeah, 1990 in fact. Yeah, so I used to really love, like, obviously the Red Hot Chili Peppers at that time. You had bands like Fishbone and these guys as well. Not maybe quite as good as I remember the album being. I say I haven't listened to it for, you know, probably like 30 years, but saw it cheaply, picked it up, and it's fairly decent. So that's Gumbo Millennium by 24/7 Spies. Another Genesis album. This is The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, 2-disc album. This is the definitive edition remaster. But yeah, last album they did with Peter Gabriel. Probably my favourite, maybe this or Foxtrot. I do love both albums, but this one, superb. Yeah, loads of really good stuff on it. It's obviously a concept album, but the concept on it, quite honestly, is baffling. From the mind of Peter Gabriel, yeah, I couldn't even begin to explain. Just like, yeah, there's no need. But anyway, yeah, really, really good album, regardless of that. Next we have Cannibal Corpse, Eaten Back to Life. This is their debut album, becoming much harder to find nowadays. So yeah, really happy to pick this one up because it is quite rare now. They were a bit thrashier, a bit less death. Obviously the production is not quite as good as it is nowadays, but still a really good album. Things like Born in a Casket, classic tracks like that. Yeah, really cool. Very happy to get that. Mastodon, this is Blood Mountain. Got a few of their albums now. This one's pretty cool. Not listened to it loads. Their albums do take quite a lot of listens to get into. But yeah, quite a fan of Mastodon. Bjork, this one's Volta. This one's Earth Intruders, Wanderlust, probably the most famous tracks on it. Once again, not everyone's cup of tea, but for me, I think she's quite inventive. Do really like her stuff. I'm not going to unfold the whole thing, but it does stuff. But yeah, this one's from 2007. This one, a decent album, to be honest. Charity Shop, Pickup, Street Fighting Years by Simple Minds. This one's got Belfast Child on it, Mandela Day. Probably the biggest most famous tracks on there. Quite a decent album. They were sort of pretty much trying to be U2 by this point, but still decent. Wham, Fantastic, a classic album from the early 80s. Can't really knock this one. Did Used to Love This Back in the Day, Bad Boys, Club Tropicana, Wham Rap, etc. Young Guns, Go For It. Not metal, not, you know, particularly alternative, but, you know, pretty good fun regardless. And yes, I Have No Shame. This one's Sky 2. This one's kind of synthy, classical. Yeah, it's got John Williams, Tristan Fry. I seem to remember my parents having this when I was a kid, so that was for some reason the lure for me picking it up for 50 pence. I haven't actually checked it out since, you know, probably 1980 or something, so we'll give this a go, but it's a bit of a classic, I think. Another one from the 80s, Madness, One Step Beyond. This is their first album. Loads of really cool stuff on here. Things like the title track and The Prince and once My Girl, Night Boat to Cairo. Excellent album. This one, Fall Out Boy, Infinity on High. I think this might have been a, you know, make weight in a... I actually don't mind Fall Out Boy. They're a bit of a weird band for me because they are kind of sucky, but at the same time you listen to their album or whatever and in small doses I find them kind of enjoyable. So this one, another random, Judge Dredd. It's kind of reggae, I guess. It was quite big at one point, I think, in the UK. I think he had quite a few sort of top 10 hits. I'm not going to mess about with the case too much because it's pretty fucked. Yeah, I think this was another sort of buy 5 for a pound kind of, you know, but it is what it is. Up with the Cock, particularly good track. This one's a CD single. I think it's the DVD single actually. Yeah, DVD single of Goldie Looking Chain. Welsh kind of mock rap band. Quite funny, quite honestly. The track is Your Mother's Got a Penis. And there's got the video on there and a few other tracks. So that's that. This is Gling Glow. This was picked up in a charity shop. This is Bjork's first appearance on CD when she was like 14 or something like that. It's all in Icelandic and it's kind of symphonic and, you know, weird. This is Very by the Pet Shop Boys. This comes in a novelty case and I've got a fair bit of theirs once again. I do quite like their stuff. I find them fairly interesting to listen to. Another early Genesis one. This is Nursery Crime. This is their third album. This one's got a musical box on it, which is a classic track. And it's also got the Return of the Giant Hogweed, which is a cool track. Fountain of Salmacis, which is pretty decent as well. It's got some, yeah, it's a good album, man. That's Nursery Crime. We have still got, honestly, a fuck ton to get through today. Soul to Soul, Club Classics Volume 1. I think this is where I went to, yeah, charity shopping with a place that I'd not normally been to and expecting it to be good, and it was kind of crap, so I just literally picked up like that. Oh, I think and this as well, Red Hot Chili Peppers / Engelbert Humperdinck double-header CD single, Love Roller Coaster. The Doors, Strange Days, second album, probably my favourite album of theirs. It's got Love Me Two Times on it, which I really like. So yeah, that's that. Duran Duran, greatest hits. Does what it says on the tin. Decent enough album. Can't really go too wrong if you like them. Another Bjork one, Biophilia. I'm not listening to this one actually. Not even halfway through yet. KLF, White Room, classic, old school, kind of housey, kind of techno-y, definitely very strange. Trickier to find now. The streaming version that you get of this is completely not this version either, so if you want the original version you have to get the CD. Frank Zappa, Hot Rat, to add to the Frank Zappa collection. One of his earlier, I think it's his first actual solo album that wasn't with the Mothers. Willie the Pimp's an excellent track on there. Peaches in a Regalia is another classic track. Another one for the David Bowie collection as well, which is building up. This is Young Americans. Do really like this album. I think it's pretty soulful, pretty smooth, and definitely an enjoyable listen. Title track is obviously really good. Fascination is really good. Fame's on here as well, the original version of Fame, not the updated version. Then we have The Orbs, Adventures Beyond the Underworld, ambient house, pretty good stuff. Not their best album, I think this is their first one though, to be fair. 2 CDs, say ambient, trippy house, good stuff. This is a double CD, this is Agnostic Front and Discipline. Really, like, yeah, it's just punky stuff. Just very random. Picked this one up in charity shop, as I did this one. These are all charity shop purchases. Wham! The Final, once again, just the greatest hits. It's the last album they did. Bit of a cash in for them splitting up. We have Moby 18. The We're All Made of Stars is the lead off track on this one. It's probably the most famous track. So yeah, that. Next up we have Halloween, another one for the Halloween collection, Time of the Oath. Not bad, this one, pretty decent. This is the special edition CD with poster, so it does come with a poster, pretty much just the cover. The Sword, High Country, not their best album, but still pretty cool if you like that sort of I don't know what you call it really, 70s style metal rock. But yeah, do like The Sword, need to get more of their stuff. This is a special edition of Bat Out of Hell. I've already got Bat Out of Hell, obviously, who hasn't, to be fair. But this one comes with bonus tracks, which is live stuff, and it's also got the Hits Out of Hell DVD in it as a double pack. So I could not resist that. Obviously, all-time classic album, and comes with some sort of jazzy slipcase also. Another Pet Shop Boys CD. This one's Behaviour. So yeah. Eurythmics. This one, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. Classic. Once again, everything's classic. This one's got Love Is a Stranger on it. And obviously the title track, which was famously redone by Marilyn Manson, but a cool album. Busta Rhymes, Turn It Up, the very best of Busta Rhymes, charity shop. We have the Beta Band, Hot Shots 2. I do quite enjoy their stuff. This one is quite literally very hot. Someone's left it too close to the heater. You can see that there, and the jewel case has not survived. Mr. Love Pansy, Enduring the Blockheads. This one's one of his later ones, may even be his last one, but it came out in 1998, I think. Early stuff probably better than that. One from Paul Simon, Rhythm of the Saints. This is the one that came out after Graceland. He sort of skipped Africa for Brazil, basically. Not quite as good an album, nowhere near as good as Graceland, quite honestly, but still pretty cool. Flaming Lips, Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots. Not really checked this one out, say 50 pence I think it was, and I think it's supposed to be quite a classic album, so I will give it some time at some point. Goldfrapp, Felt Mountain, So I'd take a chance on that one. Not actually checked this one out yet either. We have, oh yeah, the Mars Volta. This one I've not heard either. I've actually checked this one out a couple of times, and yeah, pretty cool. Did quite enjoy that. I think the guy's got a really good voice, so I would definitely check more of their stuff out. This one as well, I need to listen to more times because it's yeah, it's quite a lot to get into. Really long tracks and yeah, quite trippy. But yeah, really impressed actually. A couple more Beck albums. This is The Information, which I do think is a strong album. A lot of his fans don't necessarily think so. This comes with a bunch of stickers so you can decorate your own sleeve with it, which is pretty cool. Guero Lito, which is the remix of the Guero album. That's got some good stuff on it. Next is an album, Muse Drones, which I had not really checked out before this, and to be honest with you, a lot of Muse, I think they go up their own asses a little bit. This album is probably one of their heavier ones, and actually really, really cool, and yeah, definitely enjoyed listening to this. It's got some good stuff on it. Very good if you like their heavier stuff. House of Golden Bones Part 2 by Stone Sour. This is the last album of theirs that I didn't have, so now I have the entire Stone Sour collection. So that's pretty cool. Enough's Enough 10. This one came out I think in 2000. It's got a cover very similar to their first album, but is nowhere, in my opinion, near as good as their first album, but still pretty cool. Next up is Rolling Stones 40 Licks. Is what it is. Definitive Rolling Stones collection, remastered classics. The original, I bought this at a car boot sale once upon a time, and I didn't really check it out properly, and I got it home and it turned out it was snide, so it was like a bootleg version. So pretty happy to get the original version of it. The CDs are actually fine, but the booklet looks like someone's fucking jizzed all over it, man. It's all stuck together, so whatever. Next up we have Joy Division, Substance, 1977 to 1980, so it's literally, yeah, they weren't together very long before he topped himself. Another greatest hits, Dire Straits, Money for Nothing. I've pretty much got everything on here apart from a couple of tracks, which are Twisting by the Pool, which was on an EP, and I think yeah, a live version of Telegraph Road, which is from Alchemy anyway, which I do mean to get, but anyway, still really cool. Good to have a greatest hit. I like a greatest hits, to be honest with you. Speaking of which, Brian Ferry and Roxy Music, another classic collection. Notting Hillbillies, which is Knopfler and a bunch of buddies, sort of folky, rocky kind of stuff. So yeah, not actually listened to that yet. Phil Collins, But Seriously, this is I think his 4th solo album. This has got Another Day in Paradise on it, which is not my favourite track of his. To be honest with you, his earlier ones are better, but picked it up regardless. Sometimes you just have to just buy stuff. This, yeah, it was all in a bit of a 5 for a pound situation once again, so ended up getting Guns N' Roses Greatest Hits. I don't think I've already got this, but I may have, quite honestly. This one's the one that I did sort of want, even though once again I've got most of, well, pretty much everything that's on here. Jubilee by Sex Pistols. I've never seen it before, and I think it's pretty much a collection of all their singles. It's got quite a cool booklet inside where it shows all the single covers as well, and it's got videos of God Save the Queen, Anarchy and Pretty Vacant, so kind of a comical cover as well. So this one was also in that deal, and this is Dumb and Dumber, the soundtrack. Literally picked this up because it's got a Butthole Surfers track on it, Hurdy Gurdy Man. It's got Green Jelly on there as well, quite honestly, but it's not the optimum soundtrack. This one's pretty cool. This is a double CD of Hip Hop Sessions. This is really old school stuff for the most part. It's got Tone Loc on it, Sugar Hill Gang, Just Ice, Boogie Down Productions, doing South Bronx, Ultramagnetic MCs, KRS-One, Spoonie G, Farside, Houdini. So some good. Oh, it's got Go See the Doctor as well from Cool D, which is a quality track. But yeah, really good. If you like old school hip hop, this will hit the spot. Smoker's Delight by Nightmares on Wax. This is mainly instrumental stuff, and you know the cover pretty much says it all, really. That, you know, it's pretty chilled out stuff. Duran Duran, Big Thing. I like this album quite a lot, actually. Did used to have the vinyl version of this. It's got a lot of good stuff on it. I Don't Want Your Love, All She Wants Is. Too Late Marlene, I think, is really a good track as well. But yeah, I really like this album, man. I think it's way cool. This one I got because I realised, well, I scanned it and it was like worth a lot more than they were charging for it. It's the 3 CD 80s, basically, of 12-inch versions of various tracks. It's got, you know, a bunch of stuff on there from the 80s. If you're a bit of an 80s child like I am, then you may enjoy it. But yeah. And lastly, we have Enter the Wu-Tang by the Wu-Tang Clan. And yeah, a classic, once again, hip-hop album, which I didn't own. So yeah, a bit of a slog this month, should I say. And I hope you enjoyed seeing some interesting stuff. I doubt if you like all of it, but you may do if you've got wide and varied tastes like I have. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, and yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the video. You know, click a like if you're feeling cheeky. Feel free to comment, obviously, down below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because we need to bump it up a little bit. So yeah, thanks very much once again, and take it steady, and I'll catch you all next time. Cheers.